welcome to day 2 of our Sacred Introspection series. Today's video is on the power of the pause, and it's always interesting to me, and honestly really beautiful, the way that a lot of times when I do these little videos, there's an example or there's something that has shown up in my own life that is bringing this principle back online, so I can be back in a real life experience of what that feels like. And so, when we're looking at the power of the pause, sorry, my neck is driving me crazy. One of the things that I think is really challenging when we're learning how to introspect is the difference between doing and being. And I think from a very early age we're taught to either deflect or to distract or to defend when things feel uncomfortable. We've got to do something about it. And this was a hard concept for me to grasp. Because I couldn't understand, how do you just be? How do you not do something about what's happening? And so yesterday I had an interesting experience that stirred up a lot for me, a lot around, am I on the right track? Is this the best decision? Because I had to make a really, really difficult decision. And quite honestly, it did not go the way that I hoped. It in the end felt upsetting and felt sad and felt messy. And this is the power of the pause, is that when those things happen, can you allow yourself to just sit in it? Can you allow yourself to be with the discomfort and to just allow it to be there and see what's happening and feel what it feels like, and just acknowledge those uncomfortable feelings? And we don't like to do that. Discomfort's not enjoyable. And so oftentimes our go-to when something's bubbling up or something's uncomfortable is those 3 Ds that I just talked about. That we go and we put on a show, or we go and we eat something, or we go and we poll for support. We tell people, this is what happened, and we start to try to gather people to be on our side, or to validate, which is ultimately what that's about, is validating that my stance was correct. And there's something really powerful when you can move into this space of being willing to just sit in the pause, to just allow what happened to be there and not try to fix it and not try to change it and not try to avoid it. And that's where real transformation actually comes. Because when you can sit in that void space, that space where it's not aligned, it hasn't come through, you don't know where you're headed, you don't know what's happening, what's coming up right now, is how that's really the opening for creation. And oftentimes we miss that opportunity to create something magical and to create something different and to create the life we're really wanting to live in, because we're so quick to move out of that pause. And I had an appointment with a patient this week, and we're talking with her about how we get so afraid to be in the darkness. And in many ways there's like this conditioning and this collective view that darkness is evil, or darkness is bad, or that darkness is something to be afraid of, which is really fascinating, right? Because darkness is like where creation happens. Like if you're looking at a scriptural reference, God created light, which would indicate that at the root it was darkness. When you create a human being, they are created in the womb of creation, which is dark. And it's like the ultimate clean slate, right? Because when you can settle into that void and into that darkness, that I know for me on this journey, when I was first learning this, I felt like I really might be consumed by it. Like, what if I never make it out of the darkness? And it felt so scary. But the power of the pause and the power of starting to understand this and to sit with this is about being willing to start to see and understand that when everything's dark, when you settle all the way back into the void, that's where true liberation lies, because you are now on a completely clean slate and can create whatever you want. But the catch to this is it takes deep, deep, deep surrendering. Because to get all the way back to the darkness means we have to let go of all the distractions, of all of the preconceived ideas, of the things that way we wished it was or wanted it to be. We, even have to end up letting go of our stories. One of the things that came up for me, actually more this morning than anything, was that in yesterday's dynamic, I wasn't able to bring it to peace. Like, it ended messy. And this awareness this morning that a lot of that is the little girl, the little Annie inside me that really believed as a little girl, like, if I don't make peace, then I'm not doing my job. And it brings up emotion saying it, that like, if I don't make everyone okay, then I've been a bad girl. And sitting in the pause means having to just let that be okay and go, yeah, I see you, and you've really believed that, but we're going to try and let that go too. We're going to sit with it, and I'm going to hold you in compassion and say, even when you don't make peace, it doesn't mean you're a bad girl. So let's allow that to come up. And the truth is, if I hadn't allowed myself to sit in this, it probably wouldn't have come up, because I would have distracted my way out of it. But when I can let it come up, it can start to release, it can start to unravel, and I can surrender all the way back as close as I can get, because surrendering's hard. It's hard to let go of our ideas and our beliefs and our identities. But when I can surrender all the way back and come into the void, it allows space for creation. And it's more than just our creation at that space. It's this willingness to co-create with the divine when you reach that space. Because oftentimes our ideas of what would be the better way get in the way of what life is trying to offer us, of what it's trying to open to us. And so when you can sit in the pause and let it all unravel, it reaches a place where then the Spirit can come forward and say, let me show you what's possible. Let me show you how incredible this could actually be if you can allow yourself to enter into this space. Because I got some ideas that maybe you've never thought of. And that part's amazing, because I've never ceased to be amazed by the ideas that Spirit has that usually are way bigger and way better than anything I could have thought of. And so today's invitation is to really allow yourself to sit in the discomfort, to not have to do anything about what's come up, and to just allow it to be, and allow yourself to let go of the attachments to the outcome, or how it was supposed to look, or how it was supposed to end, or, whatever it was supposed to be. Can you just sit in it? And the big things that come up as I'm saying that is like anytime you hear yourself saying supposed to, or should, or need. It needs to do this, or I need to do that, or it should be like this, or they should have done that, or it's supposed to be. Those are your clue-ins that can I just sit? Can I just let it be? So today, if you're up for it, go ahead and take a deep breath in. Settle in. Tap into your 5 senses. Appreciating the beautiful opportunity to simply root ground into the things we're learning every day. And as you begin to relax into yourself, can you gently ask your body and your spirit to show you what is it that would be valuable for me to sit with? Can you show me where I'm trying to distract or deflect or defend that could really just use my presence? And then can you take a deep breath in and feel what it feels like to just breathe through it? Can you notice where the root of that discomfort lands in your body? For me, I can feel it kind of a little bit of a tightness or constriction in my chest. Like, oh man, did I do the right thing? And can you just breathe into it? Can you soften around it? Can you trust that as you breathe and soften, that if you allow yourself to be swallowed by the emptiness, by another layer of surrender, that life's got you on the other side? Can you let yourself relax into the hands of Spirit and let yourself be held there? Can you breathe even deeper as you soften into that space? Feeling and trusting And it can be uncomfortable, and that's okay. Sitting with this level of stillness is actually quite unfamiliar for most of us. But when you start to settle into the quiet and to the stillness, man, I don't know if there's any greater comfort. So today is the reminder that if you're brave enough to allow yourself to sit in the pause, the reassurance that you are so held, and that you're going to find that there. You're going to find how held and supported you are, and you're going to be given insight that you never imagined. And if it feels right, you can pull out your tools from yesterday and take a moment to journal about what's coming up for you. It's okay to be. It's okay to stop doing. So I wish you a really quiet day.